Have you ever thought that the idea of helping your dog feel safe is important not just for their emotional health, but their physical health and mobility as well? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about today. And in case we're meeting for the first time, my name is Mary Debono, and this is the Easier Movement, Happier Dogs podcast. So for a dog to learn something so that they can improve. And yes, we can help dogs. If you've listened to my podcast or read my book or anything like that, you know that we can actually help dogs learn how to move with greater ease and comfort. And that's true of senior dogs. That's true of dogs who are dealing with recovering from an injury, all kinds of things. What is really critical, though, for them to learn something positive is that they feel safe. So we want to create an environment of safety for the dog. And by that, I mean, we want to do things that respect what their bodily wisdom is telling them. For example, I'm thinking about a dog I worked with. I actually talk about this dog in my book, Grow Young with Your Dog. His name was Sonny. He was a 5-year-old lab that had torn his cranial cruciate ligament. It's the CCL, but people call it the ACL. It's basically, the knee ligament. And he tore that. He had surgery by an excellent veterinary surgeon. And 9 or so months later, he still was limping on the leg, despite his people doing everything they were told to do to help with his rehab. And the surgeon found no reason why he was limping. And it was very tempting for other people to want to try to force Sonny to stand on the leg he was holding up. Because after all, they're thinking, well, the vet says it doesn't hurt anymore. The surgery went really well, and he's supposed to be standing on it. And you see even professionals doing this, where they'll want to kind of like maybe they'll hold up the other leg for the other hind leg, for example, to kind of force the dog to stand on the injured one. I don't do that. And the reason I don't do that is because that can lead to the dog feeling very unsafe. I trust that the dog's nervous system, their bodily intelligence, had a good reason to keep the limp. Now, that reason may be obsolete now, and I want to help the dog get over that. But I'm not going to help the dog by trying to force the issue, by contradicting what their body is saying, what their nervous system is telling them to do. Instead, I work with the dog, helping them feel how, first of all, right away, a sense of safety. So, like in Sonny's case, his back had gotten tight because he was compensating for not using the repaired leg, right? So his back had gotten tight. So I used my hands, and this is something I teach you how to do in the book. I used my hands to help relieve the tension in his back. Well, that automatically helped him feel much better. It gave him a sense of relief. It helped him feel safe, right? I was helping him feel better. I was not contradicting what he was doing. And then from there, I started working with him in a way that, freed up other parts of his body. And then gradually, I helped him explore how maybe he could think about standing on that repaired leg. It wasn't me trying to force the issue. It's this organic learning that we teach the dogs, but it comes down to the dog has to feel safe. And the beauty of this is that this then can transform or, be associated with other things as well. So dogs, for example, that have had emotional trauma, that wasn't the case with Sonny. He was a very well-adjusted dog emotionally, very happy-go-lucky kind of lab. But dogs who are coming to you maybe with some trauma, maybe you adopted a dog who had a traumatic past, or some dogs have a predisposition genetically to be really sensitive and a little worried about life. And doing this hands-on work, you could help them get more comfortable, like feel safe more often. And then you can help them start to rewire towards a feeling of safety. So this work has been very effective And the work I'm talking about is what I teach. It's called Debono Moves. And it's based a lot on the work of Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais, who created the Feldenkrais method for humans. And I adapted a lot of his concepts to animals. So, and I work with horses, dogs, cats, rabbits, iguanas occasionally, and even pet rats. It's really work you can apply to anyone with a nervous system. But the idea is it's very foundational. It's very important that you help the dog feel safe, right? The animal has to feel safe. This is true for us as well. If you're not feeling safe, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to learn something positive. And I keep saying learn because this is something you do with a dog, not to a dog. It's very much an interactive, hands-on session when you work with your dog. And it's also, I've designed this for, the average dog person. It's not like you have to be a professional at this, but it's something you can weave into your life with your dog. You know, do a few minutes here and there. It's not something that you have to, study for many, many years and then do these like standalone sessions. No, it becomes actually like a way of life. And you start to communicate with your hands as well as your heart more effectively with your dog. So again, I just wanted to underscore this idea that when you're dealing with a problem with your dog, and again, whether that's a physical issue with like mobility or something like that, or more of an emotional problem, it's really important to create that sense, that environment of safety. Okay. So think about that when you're, problem solving for your dog. Think about, what can I do to help my dog feel safer? And that can lead to really dramatic improvements again in your dog's physical and emotional well-being, as well as with your connection with your dog, your bond with your dog, your communication with your dog. So let me know what you're dealing with. I love hearing from you, and I'm grateful for you listening, subscribing, and sharing this podcast. So let me know what you're dealing with, and I'd love to help you. You can always email me, mary@marydebono.com. Thank you so very much, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.